morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I got Mr. Brett Malik cranking up the tune there. And we got a lot going on here in the studio. Stories that are trending. But we're going to switch gears up just a little bit to learn something that you are going to hear a lot of. I just recently have heard this be the buzzword for the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, what is blockchain? Well, one particular company is making use of blockchain and the healthcare industry, and that person is Khalid Perekh. Good morning and welcome to the show, Khalid.
Good morning, Aaron. Thank you for having me on the show.
No, thank you for coming on. Now, Khalid, you're doing something that's pretty amazing in the healthcare industry, but first of all, I have to ask you, because a lot of people that I ask, I say, do you know what blockchain is? And they say no. It's been explained to me once. I didn't quite understand it. Hopefully you can explain it to me better. What is blockchain?
So let me explain to you how I do to my 5-year-old son.
Okay.
So imagine you have $100 and you want to give Peter that $100. Typically in today's ecosystem, the way it works is you send money to Peter, but the money goes through a bank or a central processing system.
Mm-hmm.
The way blockchain works is if you want to give Peter $100, you can give the $100 directly to Peter without a third party being involved. And that is, in a simple essence, a blockchain, technically speaking, is a decentralized ecosystem of how transactions are processed. It is not governed by a central institute.
Okay, now this is interesting, and does this go across international lines as well?
Absolutely. So there's a company called Ripple that has done a fantastic job using blockchain technology. So now you can send money to somebody in Singapore in less than 10 seconds for a fraction of what it typically costs. So typically it would cost you $45 in wire fees and it would take 3 days. Now you can send money to somebody in Singapore in a matter of seconds, and it'll probably cost you $2 or $3 at the top.
Okay, so this is interesting because, and we've heard of the very famous Bitcoin. We've also heard of the less famous other currencies that are out there, which is basically based on this. This is the technology behind those. Am I correct in when I understand that?
That you're absolutely correct. Blockchain is the core architecture for all digital currencies. Digital currencies was created on top of the blockchain architecture.
Okay, because I was at the Digital Entertainment World Expo this last week, and blockchain was a big discussion. And part of the discussion was that there are companies that can have their own cryptocurrency blockchain. And so, for example, let's say Disneyland at one point Disneyland had Disney dollars. Did you ever see the Disney dollars they had?
Yes, absolutely. And we're doing something very similar. So in today's world, instead of Disney dollars or monopoly money, companies are creating their own cryptocurrency and allowing people to use that cryptocurrency for the utility of the company's services and goods.
Okay, so let's talk about this now. But let's talk about your background. How did you get into this blockchain? Because this is still, this is fairly cutting edge.
Yeah, so I am the founder, chairman, and CEO of AMSYS Group, which I started 15 years ago with $100 in my pocket. Wow. And today we are about $100 million group.
Huh. Okay, wait, whoa. Okay. Now, a lot of people hear that. Wait, you had $100, now it's a $100 million group. How did that happen? How many years did that take?
15 years is when I started AMSYS Innovative Solutions. And but before that, I'm an Indian immigrant and first generation, and I came to the country with $100 in my pocket.
Wow.
And I remember that because I kept that bill for 3 months. I did not cash it because I was afraid that I was going to use it. And, as I have an engineering, background, I have an advertising marketing background, but I did not have good people that allowed me to work over here. So I worked odd jobs, worked in gas stations, cleaned toilets, and everything. Finally got a break, worked at another company, started AMSYS in 2003 with $125 in my bank account from my garage, technology company, and today AMSYS Group is cumulative revenue is about $100 million.
Okay, now this is very interesting because you are applying this to the healthcare industry. Can you explain what it is you're doing over there?
Yeah, let me tell you how this stemmed from, right? So, unfortunately, my brother met with a terrible accident. He was cleaning his gun, and he accidentally shot himself from 6-inch point blank.
Oh, God.
Bullet grazed his heart and landed into his spinal cord.
Oh.
And it kind of ruptured his spinal cord. When it ruptured his spinal cord, he was termed paralyzed. Now, since the wound was, and my brother survived, has survived so far. And since, at that time, back in April of 2017, since the bullet was the wound was so fresh, I was trying to take him from one specialist to another specialist to another specialist, trying to see if I can get the best care. And every time I would go, I had to fill up 13 pages of intake forms and medical history over and over again. And it was such a nightmare to have people call the other healthcare facility to transfer the medical record. It was just a nightmare. So, I'm a pretty successful entrepreneur. We've built technology solutions, and I said, I have to do something about this. It means, imagine my brother being alone, how would he be able to do any of that? So that's when we created an AMSYS. And AMSYS is the world's one of the first portable medical record systems that patients can now carry on their smartphone. So you can go to any doctor's office, and you can, instead of filling up an intake form, you can just scan your QR code, and the doctor can download all your medical history.
Ah, okay. It's interesting. I remember I heard of something like this about 10 to 10. How long have you been doing this?
Well, we were very fortunate. So my co-founder, Dr. Aman Quadri, he came on board last year when we identified the need in the marketplace. And we've been going at this project for about a year and a half. We have 20 super smart tech developers working on this project, and we have the product already created.
Well, because I remember having a discussion of something like this a while back, that they were hoping to get something like this. The fact that you're doing it, I can understand. Now, we have a mutual friend. He's been here on the morning show, Manny Fernandez, Silicon Valley angel investor. He's had huge success with like TaskRabbit. I think he's even Dropbox. He was back in the day, but TaskRabbit got acquired by IKEA. Now, he has backed up your startup on this. How did you and Manny meet, and what was his first impression of your company?
So Manny was speaking at one of the tech conferences that we attended, and my first impression of him was he was a very inspirational leader. He was, of course, he's very successful, but he doesn't show off like that. You know how they say that if you're standing next to the Nobel Prize winner, he will never tell you that he has a Nobel Prize. Somebody else will. I think Manny fits that spot.
Yeah, it's true, and Manny's he's such a forward thinker that he gets it. I've been in a room with him and other angel investors, and he's the first one that gets it. But let's talk about how can people find out more? How can people be and how do we get involved with making sure our healthcare have this type of system put in place?
Yeah, so we want to cause a social change. If people just go to www.chart.io, AMChart.io, you can go online, you can sign up, and we will send you an email when the app is ready to download. You can download the app, and this absolutely is for free, not for the U.S. citizens, but for all citizens in the world, where you can download it, and you can now start saving all your medical records in one central, portable, secure place.
Now, let's talk about the security of that, because obviously everybody's concerned about security, being that, some of the biggest players out there have been hacked. When it comes to medical records being secure, how does that happen? And is the blockchain, how digitally encrypted? I don't even know if I'm making the right question. How secure is that at this point?
You're actually asking the right question, because blockchain at its core is the most secure platform out there, because it's completely decentralized. Meaning, if you write the word Apple, the word Apple is not written on one place. It's written in multiple. The word Apple is divided into A and P and P and P, but they are all written in 7 different places. So if a hacker does try to hack or is successful in hacking in one store or one place, he will not be able to get the entire data. He's only able to get a subset of the data. And that's why blockchain, the way it works is the block and a chain, and a block and a chain. So it's basically a data block connected to a chain, connected to another data block. So that's why blockchain is the most ideal candidate technology for us to implement our AMSYS platform on.
Very interesting, because sharing information, and especially healthcare information, there are all different types. I mean, I don't know how many forms I've had to fill out depending on which doctors I'm going to. And being able to have this as your own chart, you download the app. What do you end up doing in there?
Well, basically, so I'll give you an example, right? That's a true incident that happened to me about 4 weeks ago. My wife and I enrolled my 2-year-old kid at a daycare. One of the things they needed was a copy of his immunization record. You and I, we both know we don't carry those, or we don't even have them.
No.
So my wife has to drive cross town 30 minutes, wait at the pediatrician's office for God knows how many minutes or hours, and she had to wait, get a paper copy, drive back all the way, and then physically give that form so he can get enrolled. Now, that was a 3 hours worth of frustration. Now, if she would have had my son's immunization record on the AMSYS app, she would have been easily able to securely send it instantly to the kids, to the daycare people, so they can instantly verify them, right? And that's the power. That's the problem we want to solve.
Wow. Okay.
So people can store their medical records, their allergies, their blood groups, all the imaging records, their scans, the MRI, and everything. Imagine, your entire life medical history on one single platform that you have easy access to. And you can give access to the doctors or insurance companies, and this time we have created a platform. Means, Aaron, did you know that people that hold your medical records, they sell your medical records without you even knowing that, and they're making billions of dollars. It's a $29 billion market for medical records data. Now we are giving the patients the power to sell their own or share their own medical records or subset of the medical records and actually get paid for it directly. It's kind of like Uber, you get paid to drive, this time you get paid to share your medical data.
Okay, now I got lost there. Wait, how do you get paid to share your medical data?
So I'll give you an example, right? So let's say you are a type 2 diabetes patient and you are a 57-year-old, white male. Now,
no, let's not hope that. But okay, yes, I don't need diabetes. Okay, continue though. It does run in the family, so you got me scared there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. But the thing is, you can secure your identified data, which is your name and your date of birth and your city you live in. But the de-identified data, which is your demographic, your history, and your medical condition, you can share that with pharmaceutical companies for research. You can share that for clinical trials for research, and we have an aggregated platform that we can connect likewise patients on, and we can share that data with pharmaceutical companies and clinical trials companies, and they pay us, and then we basically pay the patient in form of AMC tokens.
Ah, like a clinical trial, signing up for one, huh? But you don't have to go in. You just be like, "Here's my info." That's interesting.
Exactly.
Wow, very interesting. Well, you know what? You're on the cutting edge there. I'm gonna pretend I understand it all, but I don't. So I depend on people like you to make sense for me. But I want to say a big thank you for being a part of our show and explaining to us what blockchain is, how you're using it for people's, healthcare. People are in our chat room are pretty excited about this. Let's see. Here's a few. Somebody says, blockchain, this is great. That's what Nancy Naito says. And she says MoneyGram charges are outrageous. So there you go. I guess people are concerned about all those. And it's true, man. I put my money into the bank, and I think I lose money just trying to get it out. They're charging you for everything. Is that just me? I think it is. So there you go. I want to say a big thank you for joining us here on The Morning Show, and congratulations on all of your success over there. We hope to see more. Again, how can people get more information?
AMSYS.io, AMCHART.io. Go online, sign up, and you'll be the first ones to be able to download the app once it's readily available for the public.
All right. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for helping us be on the cutting edge of understanding what blockchain is. Thank you. Have a good one, okay?
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
We're going to take a break here on The Morning Show. You can also download our app. Yeah, it's KMT 1490 AM. If you miss any part of that or want to rewind and go, wait, what did he say on this technology? Because, it takes a couple of times hearing it to understand fully, but it's really cool. It's the latest thing. Go check it out and download us, KMET 1490 AM. And don't forget to visit them online. That's right, at amchart.io. We'll be right back right after these messages. So yeah, what do you guys think about that? Very interesting, right? I know you're like you're much smarter for having listened to us after that, right? AmChart, pretty interesting stuff. Blockchain, get it in your vocabulary. Try to understand it, because it's a bit. I mean, look, whether it goes up or down, it exists and people are using it. Bitcoin is one of the most readily known ones, but there's other ones. What are the other ones? Let's see. Similar. Let's see. Blockchain wallet. Yeah, it's like and you have a wallet. Cryptocurrency. You've heard a lot about it. It almost seems like it popped up, but it's been around for a while. It's an interesting technology that is there. And I remember being at CES 5 years ago, and they were like, oh, this is going to be the next biggest thing. Problem is, it still took a while to really hit mainstream. Now it's hit mainstream, and it's going all over the place. I think once it settles down, it'll be interesting to see what it does there. But technology, pretty amazing. Like this one. Have you guys seen the Boston Dynamics latest robot? It now knows how to open doors, Brett. Robots know how to open doors. So like when you want to lock the door, remember that Jurassic Park moment of the raptor where it's like learning how, like with its big claw, and it's like they think they're safe because they're behind a door. They're like, it's a dinosaur. How is he ever going to open the door? But then they had let us know before that, raptors were very fast learners. Well, now robots are doing what raptors were doing, and we all know what happened with the people and the raptors. They almost got eaten, Brett. I think a few did get eaten because they were able to open the door. I'm not happy about this, Brett. Can you tell?
Yeah, but what if the robot's female? You always open the door for a lady.
Well, that's the thing. One of them's opening the door for another one to get in. It's creepy looking. I don't know if you guys have seen this. We'll get pictures at some point. Boston Dynamics, yeah. If you haven't seen this, I'm going to post this on my social media. Make sure to follow me, Aaron M. Sanchez. You're going to want to see this, and then you're going to get creeped out. You're going to get creeped out. I'm telling you. Between Terminator, every robot movie I have seen has prepared me for today. I'm telling you, there's no hiding from the robots now that they can open doors. Doors. Pretty soon they'll be training on the, sending each other and then ordering via Alexa, because they could talk. And they'll be like, Alexa, I need a new pair of legs, bionic legs. And then they'll send it. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, Brad.
All right, here we go.
AMET Smart Talk 1490.
Welcome back. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM and KVVB TV 33.1. We want to say a big thank you to our last guest there talking to us about AMSYS and what he's doing and how he's implementing blockchain security with your healthcare records, and then if you so choose to share your information, you can get paid for it. Very similar to. Have you ever done one of those where they say, hey, if you are what do they say? Like clinical trials. Have you ever done a clinical trial, Brett? I've always been tempted to.
No, I never have.
I've always been tempted to. I'm not gonna lie. When they throw out the money out there, I'm like, yes, sign me up. But then I kind of get chicken in the end because I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm a clinical trial, am I getting the placebo or the real thing that helps you? And then does the real thing that helps you, what side effects am I going to get? And am I going to get paid well enough for that? And then I just get in my head and I don't ever do it. But there you go. Now, some of you are really, really scrambling around there for tomorrow because it's Valentine's Day, and you want to make the lady a little happy. Like these people, I'm telling you, this is what happened, Brett. They realized what tomorrow is, and they said, you know what, we better take care of this really quick because they probably don't have the funds to do it. A manhunt is underway for a group of armed robbers who stormed a Costco in Pacoima, terrifying customers and making off with a cache of expensive jewelry. I'm telling you, Brett, the timing of this. Some ladies out there are like, you better get me a diamond necklace, and if you don't, this is over. And these two criminals, yeah, they're criminals because, it was a total smash and grab. They have them on cameras, Brett. You got to see this. Costco shoppers were filling their carts. 3 masked men ran into the store for one thing only, the jewelry inside a now shattered and empty display case. Witnesses said the suspect struck the hard-to-break glass several times, while another held a gun to keep shoppers from trying to halt the heist. Witness James Anderson was at the photo booth when he heard the commotion and went toward the jewelry counter. He says, as I was getting closer to him, some guy came from my left, and he had a .45, and he held it at me at an angle like the gangbangers do, and he said, don't do it, back off. Anderson recalled L.A. Police Department Lieutenant Eric Bixler said the suspects quickly ran back out of the store once they got the jewelry in hand. The suspects fled in a silver Mercedes, so they're doing kind of well over there. The value of the jewelry they stole is unknown, but witness Kennard Deeds said the robbers knew exactly which part of the counter to break. Well, yeah, that's what you do, case the joint. Have they not seen all the movies whenever they go and heist something? I mean, think about it. They're forward thinkers. They're not going after the banks. They're like, banks have no money, so I'm going to go and do Costco. It's right there, sitting out there. Deeds said, me and my wife were just here 2 days ago looking in the cabinet at one of the rings. They're expensive rings. One was $25,000, so they took the whole high-end end of the case, and there you go. Last year in Northern California, 2 Costco locations were held up in a similar fashion. The suspects wore masks, and they went after the jewelry counter. One suspect was arrested. The LAPD will be looking into those cases during the investigation. Meantime, there was no comment from Costco officials. But Brett, I'm telling you, somebody has not told these thieves that jewelry and diamonds are not all that they're cracked up to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, these characters went from he went to jail to he went to jail. Come on, really? Come on.
It's the people. Diamonds, when you get them, they may be the ticket price is $25,000. You try to resell them, you'll never get that amount. You'll come close to it. So I get it. They're like, they want to pawn it off to somebody, but there you go. Not worth the time, people. It's not. Even, just, get her a cubic zirconium and just say it's a diamond. She'll never check. And if she does, you probably broke it up because now she wanted to resell it anyway, and then she'll find out. I'm telling you, just do it that way. All right. Facebook, I know a lot of you have been wanting this, including myself. Brett, have you ever come across a post and you're like, man, I wish there was a dislike button?
Well, there is now.
Kind of, yeah. Facebook is testing a downvote feature that could be the closest users will ever get to a dislike button. The social network acknowledged last week it is testing a downvote button that appears on a small number of public pages that will be viewed by roughly 5% of English language users with Android smartphones. The new experimental button shows up as a third choice on comments alongside the like and reply button. So if you guys see this on your Android device, it's not a bug. You are one of the select few to hit that dislike button. Once a Facebook user taps the downvote button, they can choose one of 3 options: offensive, misleading, or off topic. There's some comments I would like to just dislike. Like those ones whenever you post something about a movie and then it says, then there's some spammer that finds your account, posts, hey, watch the illegal movie right here. Dislike. Completely off topic. The downvoted comment is then hidden from view and the user's feedback is provided to Facebook. To be clear, the downvote button is not a dislike button, but it's pretty close. a Facebook spokesperson said. They said, "We are exploring a feature for people to give us feedback about comments on public page posts. This is running for a small set of people in the U.S. only. Facebook executives in the past have expressed reluctance with rolling out anything resembling a dislike button. During a Q&A session back in 2014, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg said he didn't think there needs to be such a voting mechanism." You know what, though, Brett? I think that's kind of a little bit against what he... Because originally, Facebook was a program that he had set up to be like hot or not. Did you know that back in the day?
No.
Yeah,
No.
It was to like rate all the ladies in the area. Look, he's going to college, Harvard.
Let me tell you something. I know who is hot. I can tell you this, and Michael B. Jordan would agree with me on this. Danielle Harrington. She's the Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model.
Oh.
And she's the third African-American woman to be on the cover, joining Beyonce and Tyra Banks.
Ah.
And yes, Michael B. Jordan from sources close to me say that he is an admirer.
Well, and evidently Brett's right next to him as well.
Yes, she's from Compton, so she's a Southern California gal.
Straight out of Compton.
That's right.
All right. Well, there you go. If you want to know more, make sure to follow Brett at Brett on Sports. Evidently, he's stalking her on social media. It's okay. I stalk a lot of people on social media.
Now, you got to be careful, though, nowadays when you say that with the Me Too movement.
Well, yeah. But you know what? People like to be stalked on Facebook. It's called likes. Fans. Yeah. Brett, who's coming up next on the radio?
I think we better quit while we're ahead. Clark Howard's next. Good night, everybody.
When you guys put it on social media, it is there. I need to look. I need to research. It's called research. Ladies know it. They look. Any lady that says they don't stalk certain people, they call it research. I'm just saying. I'm researching. But we appreciate each and every one of you staying with us on KVVB TV. Thank you for tuning in. Again, you can make sure to follow us on Facebook at KVVB TV. You can check out the latest that's happening there. Between the hamburgers that we're giving away at the Habit Grill, which, by the way, you will get a habit for the habit when that happens. Or perhaps it's the new Cracker Barrel happening right there. The first one in California in Victorville. Perhaps you're there. Or perhaps you just want to see what's the latest and greatest in Victorville. Then make sure to like kvvb.tv, even if you're international, because they have a Roku program, so you can watch all their local programming and other programming on KVVB. There's a lot more here on the station, so make sure to tune in. Like us on Twitter at KVVBTV33. Like Brett on Sports, myself at Aaron M. Sanchez. Make it a great day, whatever you guys do. And remember, the robots just